Oh my god, is it saying I'm live now? I I don't know what the fuck is happening. Okay.
Is God voice or God voice working? Oh my god. I don't know. Is that Oh, God voice is working. Okay.
So we are we are doing the right thing. Hopefully, we are doing the right thing because I do not know if the right thing is happening. So, with all that being said, we are reading Psalms and Proverbs today, and nothing is going to stop us from doing that. Jesus is still driving our spaceship, and we are still reading Psalms 23. And again, like I said, I only know the words to this because of Coolio. Are there words and things happening? There are words and things happening. Okay. So now we are reading this a psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures, the still waters. He he restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yeah, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left because I've been blessing and laughing so long that even mama thinks that my mind is gone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's not what it said. That's what Coolio said. But God said, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Bless you. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely my goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Okay, there's that one. And that did not take that long. See, I'm trying to um I see that's only 3 minutes. See, I'm trying to do this for a very specific reason. I'm trying to be this late for a very specific reason, and it never works out that way. And maybe it's I should stop trying to do that, but I love the lady so much and she's so nice to me. So I want to do nice things, like give her a raid with my 0 people watching so she at least knows I attempted to do something nice. You know, because I'm a nice guy. That is such a lie. I am really not a nice person at all. But we'll just excuse my bad behavior. Okay. Proverbs 23. Um, my phone is like, no, you don't, lady. We are listening to you. My phone is literally listening to me. And I don't know. See, Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, CIA. Look, all you have to do is go into my computer and you could just see me being stupid. But really, I'm on camera being stupid, so my phone don't even need to listen to me. What kind of shit is that? My phone's like, you know what? You're reading Proverbs. I'm going to go ahead and spy on you right now. but literally you could just spy on me through my camera because I'm live. Well, you could spy on me through my camera even if I wasn't live. You will catch me here masturbating. So, just just gonna throw that out there, CIA. You don't have to spy on me through my phone. Okay. When you sit down to eat with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you. That is a problem I have. I do not do that. Put a knife to your throat if you are given to. Hold on. Put a knife to your throat if you are a man given to appetite. What? So if you're fat, delete yourself. What the fuck does that even mean? Put, hey, Dustin, listen to this thing real quick. Put a knife to your throat if you are a man given to appetite. What does that even mean? Like if you're fat, is that what that means? Oh, if you're greedy. Yeah, people like that suck. Okay. Okay, kind of like what I meant. So you got to be fat with greed. All right, Dustin said that means greed. Okay. Do not desire his delicacies, for they are deceptive food. Oh, that's exactly what Dustin said. I should have kept my mouth shut, but I like to know things. Do not overwork to be rich because of your own understanding. Cease. And it says this with an exclamation point. It's like, cease. Stop it. You were a bad guy. Okay. Will you set your eyes on that which is not? What does that even mean? See, that's another thing. It's like, what do these things mean? I am not smart. Will you set your eyes on that which is not? Which is not what? Oh, is that like unreachable bullshit? Like, you're like, you know what? I'm going to be president, but really you're a pauper. So it's like, I don't know about that, dude. Something like that. And see, I wish people were here to tell me what this stuff means. But I think I'm the one making the channel, so I'm the one that's supposed to know what it means. But I'm not a pretend preacher. I have no idea what this shit means, but I'm reading it for your benefit. But you could tell me what it means. Okay. For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away like an eagle towards heaven. What? Will you set your eyes on that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings and fly away like an eagle towards heaven. Words and things. Like words and things. Do not eat the bread of a miser, nor desire his delicacies. Okay, so this is going to be like Scrooge. And be like, Scrooge McDuck, I do not want your gold, because you suck. For he thinks in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. So he's like, eat and drink all this stuff, but then at the end, you have to pay him for it. I'm going to make an analogy that is real life. Okay. When hookers get addicted to drugs, right? Pimps come and pick them up and feed them all night with crack and heroin, right? But the whole time they're doing this, they're racking up a bill. So then you're stuck with that pimp because he gave you all this crack and heroin. So now you have to work for him to pay it off. And it's something like what this is: do not desire his delicacies, for as he drinks in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. He's like, hey, keep doing this stuff. And you're racking up a bill with him. You think it's free, but he's like, no, you're about to work for me. Go ahead and keep taking this crack. Yeah, it's a thing that happens. The morsel you have eaten, you will vomit up and waste your pleasant words. Crazy. Do not speak in the hearing of the fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words. Do not remove the ancient landmark, nor enter the fields of the fatherless. What does that even mean? Oh, evil eye. For their Redeemer is mighty, and he will plead their case against you. Hopefully. Oh, yeah. It turns out that I am getting evicted in June. They just added a whole bunch of money to the rent and a whole bunch of money to like buying the house. So I am not going to be able to live here and take care of these animals. And I don't know what I'm going to do because I've been feeding these raccoons and cats for years. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay. Apply your heart to instruction and your ears to words of knowledge. Do not withhold. Were you outside? Come on. Come down here. No. Okay. Apply your heart to instruction and your ears to words of knowledge. Do not withhold correction from a child. If you beat him with a rod, he will not die. Crazy. You shall beat him with a rod and deliver his soul from hell. I don't think it exactly works like that, but when he goes the fuck up, he's going to remember that beating. My son, if your heart is wise, my heart will rejoice. Indeed, I myself. Yes, my inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak great things. That's why I'm my dad's sage. Like, I give my own dad sagely advice all the time, and it works out. So that's cool. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but be zealous for the fear of the Lord all day. This is crazy, right? For surely there is a hereafter, and your hope will not be cut off. Hear, my son, and be wise, and guide your heart in the way. Do not mix with vine bibblers or with gluttonous eaters of meat, for the drunkard and the glutton will come to poverty, and drowsiness will clothe a man with rags. This is a thing. Listen to your father. Look, when I was a kid, we would get Chinese food, and my dad would crack the thingamabob, the fortune cookie, and we didn't know how to read. So my dad, every single one of the fortune cookies would be, listen to your father, for he is the wisest. And we'd be like, it doesn't say that. And he's like, well, learn to read. And then you'll hear what it says. But right now, it says, listen to your father, for he is the wisest. So we learned how to read so we could read the fortune cookies. Anyway, on to the next one. Listen to your father who begot you, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy the truth and do not sell it. Also, wisdom and instruction and understanding. The father of the righteous will greatly rejoice. Uh, and he who begets a wise child will delight in him. Let your father and your mother be glad, and let her who bore you rejoice. My son, give me your heart, and let your eyes observe my ways. For a harlot is a deep pit, and a seductress is a narrow well. He also lies in wait as for a victim, and increase is the unfaithful among men. Dun, dun, dun. He, no, who has woe, who has sorrow, who has contention, who has complaints, who has wounds without cause, who has redness of eyes, those who linger long at the wine, those who go in search of mixed wine. Do not look on the wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it swirls around smoothly. At last, it tastes like a serpent and stings like a viper. Your eyes will see strange things, and your heart will utter perverse things. Yes, you will be like one who lies down in the midst of the sea. Idiot is what it says. Or like one who lies at the top of a mast, saying, they have struck me, but I was not hurt. They have beaten me, but I did not feel it. I, when I shall awake, that I may seek another drink. I did that with a cigarette. I woke up out of a coma and was like, I need a cigarette. I couldn't even fucking breathe because of the breathing tube. And I was like, I really need a cigarette. I couldn't even, they literally just took the breathing tube out and woke me up out of a coma. And the first thing I asked for was a cigarette. I didn't even care. I was just in a coma and my ribs and my arms and all that shit were broken and I couldn't breathe. I didn't even give a shit about any of that. I was like, I need a cigarette. Yeah, that was the thing that happened. Now, where did my bookmark go? I had it, didn't I? Well, this card's gonna have to do. Anyway, that's the end of that, and I'm not even close to the time. So now what to do? I don't know. But I'm not even close to the time. Maybe I should do this because Rumble is a dead site. I don't know. Ah, but I can't even. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now what to do? But I really don't understand the psalm anyway. Well, I suppose I kind of understand it a little bit, but that whole like what did it say? Dustin told me what it meant, but I don't exactly know. And 19. Oh, maybe it was a proverb where it said, kill yourself. Yeah, right here. When you sit down to eat with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you and put a delete yourself if you are a man given to appetite. So, if you're just gluttonly eating while you're sitting with a ruler, then you might as well do that to yourself because you're greedy. Like Dustin said, you're greedy. But it says, do not desire his delicacies, for they are deceptive food. This is another hooker and pimp thing where he like feeds you continually with drugs and then waits for you to get done and then gives you the bill, right? Is that something that means? And I wonder if anybody I know is actually watching because maybe they would know if this is exactly what that means. Oh, look, I am live on Facebook because I got rid of Rumble. So hopefully they know what this means. But I doubt it because my Uncle Tom heard me arguing with my mom on my live stream and he doesn't get that's just how it is. Oh, Kyle, yeah, he died a long time ago. It's his birthday today. I don't know. Did I miss other people's birthdays? Probably. But anyway, enough of Facebook because I absolutely hate Facebook. But maybe my uncle or my mom will show up and be like, that's not what that means. But I don't think my Uncle Tom's ever dealt with a hooker before or ever tried to be a pimp. So maybe he might not understand what I mean. But then again, maybe he does. Who knows? But I think that's exactly what that means. Like when you sit with a guy like that, but you're greedy and the drugs just keep making you greedy. And then eventually he gets greedy. And then you got to pay all that back because drugs make you gluttonous. But you're not supposed to desire that kind of shit because that's exactly what's going to happen. But you don't realize that's exactly what's going to happen. Oh, we're almost there, I think. No, not even close. Oh my god. I think this whole thing is about a hooker because this is exactly what happens. She overworks herself to be hood rich, drug rich, because of her own understanding of how that shit's about to go. You know, she wakes up in the morning, immediately hits a drug dealer because she has money. And she's like, I'm rich. And all this crack and heroin. I never did heroin, but I definitely did crack. A whole lot of it. Yep, sure did. I never got into the, well, actually, I never even met a drug dealer that was interested in that kind of thing, which I got lucky. I got real lucky that I never met anybody like that because I would have definitely put myself in a situation like that for sure because I was a drug addict. But I never met anybody that ever did that because all of them had girlfriends and they wasn't interested in pissing their girlfriends off. So I don't know how that thing exactly works because I never been in it before, but I have heard how it works. I've never seen it. I've never seen it happen, but I've heard of it happening. But I think things like that happen in bigger cities than I was in. Because I was in a little town and shit like that didn't happen. And yes, there are little towns in Pennsylvania. There are little towns, and things like that happen in little towns. So, I don't know. How many minutes are we at? Oh my god, it's only been 2 minutes. What am I going to talk about? Oh, how about the one from yesterday? Psalms 22. Even though a lot of this is supposed to be about Jesus, Psalms 22, where verse 14 was like, the mouth of an immoral woman is a deep pit. He who is arbored by the Lord. Yeah, that one. The Lord getting fixated because they don't make God sized Prozac. God really does get fixated on some people. And if you're not doing the right thing, he's going to get fixated on you in a bad way. Especially like if you said sorry to him a long time ago and then all of a sudden start being a bad guy, bad things are going to happen because, well, you turned your back on God and then he got fixated on you because you were going to be somebody important, but instead you took a different path. And then God gets fixated on you because you turned your back on him when it was supposed to be all good for you. And then God's like, really, like, what? And then he's going to start nudging you with his finger, like, wake up, wake up, wake up. Oh, you're not going to wake up? Well, let me pull out my Tommy gun of fury. And then God pulls out his Tommy gun of fury, and then it's all bad for you. And especially if he lets you get away with your bad shit for a little bit just to see how far you would go. Yeah. And then when he starts popping the bullets out of his Tommy gun of fury, right? Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Right there. So, like, you're going along doing your shit because, like I said before, it's easier to do the wrong thing than it is to do the right thing. And God's going to let you go down this path, whatever path you choose. But then he's going to get tired of your shit. And then he's going to be like, what the fuck did you do? Okay. And then your whole life is in a flip upside down. And depending on what you're doing will depend if the cops show up and then you get in that kind of trouble. Depending on what you're doing, you could be doing nothing bad and then, you know, God will just flip your regular life upside down because you are being foolish. And foolishness is kind of God's, you know, pet peeve. And then he goes all kinds of ham. He'll just empty his clip of Tommy Gun of Fury at one time, right on that ass because you're not paying attention. Oh my God. It's only been 9 minutes. We got a few more minutes to go. Yeah, right here in Psalms 21. It said, oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Yeah, this one. Every every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the hearts. Right. If your heart starts loving the evil shit that you're doing, that's when God pops in and flips your life upside down. Because at first, when you start doing bad things, you're like, I don't know. But then you do it, and depending on how you feel about it will depend on what God does. And again, He'll let you do your thing for a little while. But then, you know, if you ask Him for forgiveness, if you say you're sorry, He'll let you go. But you start back up, yeah, God's going to play with you a little bit. But then He's going to start emptying His Tommy gun because you are continuously being stupid. And he says that in the Old Testament. If you continuously do the same thing and ask for forgiveness, eventually it's not going to work. And eventually I am going to get really fucking mad. And he says that in the Old Testament, and we will get there. It's towards the end. Yeah, right. And this is another one. To do righteousness and justice is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Yes, but everything that you do, it's 11/11. Dear God, help Trump, help America. We're going to do a good job. It's going to be great. Thank you. Amen. Okay. To do righteousness and justice is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. But I said, and I'm gonna do a fucking Christian thing because you have to sacrifice a lot to do the right thing. So I don't know if the Lord right here means animal sacrifice. Because in the sacrifice rules, God said, if you know what you're doing, then you don't have to sacrifice as long as you know what you're doing. But if you're not paying attention and you just keep fucking up because you're not paying attention, you better go and sacrifice. But if you're paying attention, you don't really have to. And there's a lot of sacrifice that goes with doing the right thing. There is a lot that you have to give up in order to do the right thing. And I don't know if giving up your life is a sacrifice or not, if doing the right thing is a sacrifice or not, because you do have to give up a lot to do the right thing. And I don't know if that's the same as animal sacrifice or if giving up the things of life is considered a sacrifice. But Jesus said, who gives up his life will keep it. So, and I don't necessarily think that's true because devil demon guys, if you do the right thing against the wrong people, things could get ugly. Because, stitches come with for snitches some of the time. But it's become like fashionable to snitch on people. It's become fashionable to tell on your friends to the cops. So I don't know if the snitches get stitches thing anymore is a real thing. And I don't know if that's considered a sacrifice or not. I don't know what that would be considered because I would think you're sacrificing your old life for your new life. And I don't know if that's a thing or not. But if anybody else knows if that's a thing or not, please let me know. But then it says, a proud and haughty man, a scoffer is his name. He acts with arrogant pride. Then you got people like that. And then people who do the right thing. But if you do the wrong thing against an idiot, idiot things are going to happen to you because you decided to do the right thing against the wrong person. But what exactly happens? I think it's what Jesus said. You give up your life here, you you have a life elsewhere. But Jesus also says, and I think this is a real thing to pay attention to, because remember when they were talking about the seven husbands and the one wife, whose wife will she be? And God's like, they're all going to be angels. It doesn't really fucking matter because in heaven, you don't need to get married. You're like an angel. So you don't know the people that are down here. You don't know the people that are up there. You don't know. You don't remember because you don't really have to because you're an angel. But again, that's just my thought. I don't know what anybody else's thought is. I I don't exactly know. And then the thing that me and my dad were talking about yesterday of why my mom kept his name instead of her husband's name. And I said, paperwork. But then this thing happened yesterday. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. And my dad is a pretty cool guy. Like my mom said on Saturday, she has problems. And my dad also has problems, but not the same kind of problems. And my dad's not a bad guy. And my mom chose to keep my dad's name because of paperwork mostly, but she chose to keep his name because he's a good guy. And um I don't know, but my dad, he has a good name, and my mom did choose to keep his name. She did. She chose to keep his name. She's still not live. I wish she would come live. Uh, nope, still not live. Damn it. All right, well, fuck it. We're just gonna keep going. And then there's oh yeah, do not let your heart envy sinners. And again, the thing is when you do the right thing, it's very lonely. It's very lonely to do the right thing. But the sinners make it look so fun to be a sinner. And you see this stuff all over the place, and it's really hard not to be jealous of the underground. It's really hard not to be jealous of the things that people are doing. And a lot of people aren't okay with themselves, and it's really hard to find joy in things that you know are totally boring. And it's like, I don't know, this other shit is really cool. But then when you do this other shit that's really cool, God makes it really hard for you. God is like, you know what? You were my guy for a long time, but then you decide to do this shit. And again, gotta let you get away with it for so long before he turned your life upside down. Man, why does the Bible make me so tired all the time? It's like 11 o'clock in the morning and 11:30 in the morning, and this book makes me tired. And then it talks about, and I think, like God is talking about himself being happy in people. Oh, there she is. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and go over there. So I want to tell everybody, have a great day, and I hope you had fun. I hope you had a good time. We're going over to Neo's. See you there. Love you.